Hello, Elisa.
Hi, Tracy.
Welcome. You are joining us from Connecticut this afternoon.
I
So,
am. Yeah,
yes,
my office in Stanford. Happy to be here.
yes. I'm so excited that you're joining us today. Thank you for taking time out of your few minutes out of your workday today to talk with us about the metabolic reset.
Yep.
You've had a lot of success with it, and I'm just so happy that you're here to share about your experience.
Thanks, and I'm happy to be here. And it was overall, something that I was so happy with. And although I'm in maintenance now, in likelihood, I will probably do it again after the summer. That's how much I liked it. Very
Awesome.
easy. Overall, much easier than I ever thought. And I guess we'll
Awesome.
get into the
Yeah.
specifics.
Yeah. So you said that you're in maintenance now, but let's back up. Let's back up to the beginning.
Okay.
And why were you interested in the metabolic reset in the first place?
I think just an overall looking for a healthier lifestyle, looking to create some kind of balance in my life, and really just to feel good. I was having a lot of problems with sleep. I was having some issues with digestive health.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like just overall, just looking for something that would obviously, could address couple of extra pounds that I wanted to take off, but more than that, really make it a lifestyle shift for me. And it was something that was very easily doable.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons I just loved working with you. You definitely had some pounds that you wanted to release, but much more than that, you were looking at the wellness aspects of it. So making some lifestyle changes to resolve some chronic symptoms that you were experiencing, and then making those lifestyle changes for all the days going forward as well.
Absolutely. And, it's, for me, having someone like yourself that made yourself available, responded to emails, to text messages, and having a group that, I was part of was very encouraging, daily emails with, words of wisdom. I loved the recipe book that you put together. And what I kind of did, I'm a little bit of a geek, but at the beginning, I printed out all of the materials and I made one binder of all of the recipes, and I went through and I put little tags on things that appealed to me, and another binder of just all the other information, the supplements I was taking, and just, just general things about the program. And I still have the cookbook or the recipe book on my counter, and I'm still referring to it. So very tasty, not boring, easy to make things. And I think for me, I live by myself and I work long hours. Preparation for me was the key. And having that recipe book really helps me do that. And I would, double or triple the recipe size, and then just have everything in storage. And, it was so much easier to know when I was leaving for work in the morning I knew exactly what to grab, what fruits to grab, what vegetables to grab, and much easier when I got home at night. So that was, it made it a lot easier than you would have thought.
Yeah. I think that that's something that everyone says across the board, that planning is key.
Yeah.
So the day before, if you think about what does tomorrow look like, what meals will I eat, and just grabbing those foods ahead of time just sets you up for success. And I think that's something everybody says, planning is key.
I agree.
I'm going to back up just for a moment for those who don't know what the details of the metabolic reset are. I think that the bottom line about the metabolic reset is that it is meant to be a holistic wellness program. We do manipulate what you're eating. So we focus on an anti-inflammatory diet, and it's real food that you buy at the farmer's market or at the grocery store. So you're learning to combine the right, what we would call macronutrients, like your protein, your veggies, and your fruit at your meals. And so because you're eating real food, this is an eating template that you can keep forever.
Absolutely.
So you're really learning how to put nutritious food and meals together. But also there's a lot of focus on the timing of when we eat. So not only what we're eating, but the timing of when we eat is also critical. And that's part of what's jumpstarting your metabolism into fat burning. So it's definitely meant to be holistic, and it's meant to address all of the reasons that we put weight on in the first place. So we have a big emphasis on stress and stress management, because that stress is what wreaks havoc on all of our hormones.
Yes.
Another thing we were chatting about recently is toxins, being aware of when we take in toxins that they can have hormone effects and estrogen effects, so something else that wreaks havoc on our hormones. In the beginning, you mentioned some digestive symptoms.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that we address with this program. And there's very little supplements that you take, but one capsule is a really powerful probiotic, because we know that good bacteria in your digestive tract it plays such a role in your metabolism and your fat burning abilities.
And honestly, the fact that it doesn't need the one that you recommended doesn't need to be refrigerated makes it easier to. My battery is dying. I don't know why it's not charging. I'm sorry. It just made it very easy if I was away for a couple of days or away for the weekend, or even, you know, the way I took my supplements was with my lunch, because I was doing the intermittent fasting and just having the coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
And it just made it very easy just to, that was part of my lunch package that, you know, I grabbed. You know, at night I would put everything in little baggies and off I went. And I mean, the one thing that we haven't mentioned, which I think I was a little nervous about at first before starting the program, was I going to be starving, because you're only really eating 2 full meals a day? And shockingly, no. And I think it has to do with the quality of the food that you're eating, the fact that you're balanced. And it really, I was not hungry. Probably the biggest challenge for me was keep getting in enough water. So that's just because of my job and going from meeting to meeting, and you know, I do my best to, you know, drag my jug around with me, but you know, sometimes when you're in the middle of talking, it's a little bit difficult to do that. But I mean, all in all, I can't say enough great things about the program.
So it was easier than you thought.
Yes.
And you felt very satisfied, satiated with this program. It wasn't like you were, you know, feeling deprived or hungry or anything like that.
Nope, not at all. Not at all. It was great. And, you know, now that I'm, as you mentioned, you know, it's really opened my eyes just to what's going on in my house, and what kind of cleaning products am I using? What kind of pots am I using to cook? Where am I storing my food? You know, I've started to, little by little, you know, get glass containers rather than the plastic containers, and new pots. And I just ordered some, you know, all natural cleaning products. So, you know, I think it puts you in a great mindset. And, you know, you being a functional medicine doctor, now, you know, we can even move on further and do additional tests and try to make some tweaks. And it's something that I feel like I'm in a really good place for. So, I mean, while, you know, getting back to the original, I mean, I did release pounds. I released about 12 pounds. My goal was 15, but I'll get there. And, but with that, I mean, I feel less bloated. I'm sleeping better, not having, you know, as chronic digestive issues. So I just feel like it gave me a great foundation upon which to build.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that you shared with me too is that you felt like your taste buds had changed. Things that you used to crave, you no longer crave. So you want healthier foods now, and they taste delicious to you.
Absolutely. I mean, I was a little bit of a sugar addict, and yeah, it's pretty amazing. I just as an aside, I mean, I sent you pictures of my office where people bring in sweets and cookies, and there was a table probably 5 feet from my desk that was covered with chocolate and all pretty unhealthy stuff. And whereas in the past, I'd probably be grazing all day.
Yeah.
I did not have that urge.
Yeah. So you don't have a desire for those unhealthy foods that maybe, were hard to resist before.
Right.
Yep. Another thing you shared with me that I loved is that you have a focus on creating balance for yourself. That's something that you have more time and attention on than you did before.
Right. I always put myself last, and would think about what I was going to eat last, and would wind up eating things that just did not do my body good, and it just made me feel like crap.
Yeah. So it's really been a lifestyle reset for you in addition to a metabolic reset.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So just to summarize what you just said, your sleep is better, your energy is better. You used to feel like you were bloated when you were eating, and that has settled down. Cravings are gone. You're focused more on balance in your life. And another comment that you made was feeling overall more positive and feeling like more accomplished because you know that you're on the right path with your health and wellness.
I believe it or not, I feel better in my 50s than I did in my 40s, which is, I think, great. Maybe a little creaky here and there, but for the most part, I definitely, I feel energized and just positive outlook overall.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Elisa, for sharing your story. I mean, that's what really gets me fired up, knowing that someone's life completely changes by going through this kind of reset and changes for the long haul, because these are definitely permanent lifestyle changes that we want to carry, into all the days of the future.
Well, and I just want to thank you for being such a great resource, and for being so good at what you do and being so passionate yourself about the program, that I think you could feel it, and it comes through in all of the communications that we have. And I look forward to continuing to work with you, on the functional medicine side, and where the future takes us.
Yeah. Well, it has been my pleasure. I've absolutely loved working with you. I had noted a couple other questions, but I think that we already covered them. One was, what was surprising about the program? And I think you already touched on that it was simpler than you thought and easier than you thought, and that you felt really satisfied.
Yep.
One of the things that you learned, and I think everybody learns going through this, is that if you only focus on two variables, food and exercise, oftentimes that's not enough to really get to your weight loss goals. So there are other factors, and we address those with the reset.
Yeah.
Another question I had was, what was helpful about the program? And I think you touched on that too. You had the coaching, you had the support, you had all the materials that you needed, you had a binder of materials, and the daily email. So
I miss those, but I saved them all so I can go back and reread them.
And would you recommend this program to another?
Oh, absolutely. I've already talked about it at work, and people at work who have noticed, they'll see what I'm eating, and they're, they find it, because I, would not normally be bringing meals for lunch. They're always interested in seeing what I've created, and, also can see a change just physically in me. So I've been talking it up here in Connecticut.
I hope to do a metabolic reset workshop there in Connecticut. Bring the reset to your office. And then what's next? And we talked about that right now you've transitioned to maintenance. And maintenance is a similar eating template, but then we start to increase calories and maybe add back some of the foods that we had stayed away from, because we start off with a really anti-inflammatory diet. And then it's 6 weeks of fat burning. And after 6 weeks, then we go into maintenance, and maintenance typically is 4 more weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we start to add things back into your diet. And that's the part that's a little different for everyone, where you need to see how you react to different things. And probably the biggest problem area is the carbohydrates. Everybody has a different tolerance to carbohydrates, where some people can add a little bit every day, where another person maybe can only have them a couple times a week. So you're really just watching the scale, monitoring how you're feeling, and figuring out what foods are right, unique for you.
Yeah.
So, and then the last piece was what's next. And, your question is, well, what is optimal? How good can I feel? And so we're going to do some specialty functional medicine labs to assess how your body's functioning, especially your digestive tract. So many doctors believe digestion is the foundation of your overall health. So we're going to take a very thorough look at how your digestive tract is functioning, measure some various markers within your body, so that we can see what is your optimal and what else we can tweak. So that'll be next for you.
Looking forward to it. Thank you so much. It's been a great experience. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, Elisa. And I won't keep you. I know you have a busy afternoon, so I will let you go. But thank you so much for sharing your story.
Happy to do it, Tracy. Talk to you soon.
Talk
Bye-bye.
to you at the next coaching session.
Yes. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, Elisa.